Welcome to another review of your cars that you've submitted to my Discord, that is. So we're going to start off today with a car that seems to have a little bit of a epilepsy or something like that. Then we got this cool car. Now, this one was modified, so I don't know much about this car at all, apart from the fact that the J-beam has been modified, so I got that as a thing. I just did notice, though, that the driver's wheel is on the correct side, so that makes me happy. Then we got this Subaru-esque kind of looking car here. Then we've got this muscle car here, which looks pretty good. Apparently this one's a little bit oversteery, and I think I know why. It's because, see that front lip? That's not downforce. See that rear lip? That's not downforce. And you see this rear diffuser? That's not downforce. So that car is going to be basically at the whims of basic aerodynamics for cars. Then we've got this one, and I think that there's a bit of an issue. Maybe they had something here which I didn't have as a mod when I went to export this sort of car. If you are wondering, I do actually have a list on the workshop of mods that I actually have downloaded. If you're using a mod that's not on that list, you may as well just go ahead and export it and put a Google Drive download link to it in the Discord as opposed to dropping the .car file. But yeah, let's go give this a try. We're here at a HillClimb map. Now this one is broken, as you can see, but it's still a fun HillClimb map, so we're going to give it a try. Now, this is quite a long track, and we're going to see just how long it is, and there will be a few obstacles along the way, but if you're wondering what map we're using Ald Court HillClimb course, and it's janky as shit, but I do really like it. It's kind of like a HillClimb kind of course, and it seems like it's a lot of fun, and I wish that they would fix this one, but oh god, okay, we've got oversteer under braking, and now we've lost all downforce and the car's become a lot more wild. Oh god, oh dear. You know what, maybe we'll restart this one. I'd expect a little bit more from a $1.1 million car. Yeah, this one is quite expensive and it has some weird characteristics. Let's have a look at their downforce. It is fairly low, but at least it's not near the ground, so that's good. That's not clipping. There is only the one aerodynamic wing on the rear, and I'm not quite sure if they've calculated for that properly. There's going to have a lot more front downforce than rear downforce. I get the feeling that this is not going to be the greatest car. Let's see if we have the same issues with extra oversteer going on around here. Yeah, okay. Under braking, and then that liftoff from braking gives this thing a real hard, like, mid-corner speed. Now, they have said that this is a race car that requires a lot of skill. I think it is because just the downforce is unbalanced, unfortunately. So let's give this one more try. 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. This thing is very fast in an acceleration kind of situation, so that's good. I think I'm just gonna, like, lightly feather the brake as we come up to corners, especially long sweeping ones. I think also it's not helped by the fact that this doesn't look like a particularly long body. So that short wheelbase is going to really affect us with oversteer sometimes. But okay, you know what? If you're driving this thing nice and smoothly, this car does become a little bit easier to control. Wow, I already think that we're at like the third waypoint. This is pretty darn fast. I remember testing this one out a while ago. This was going to be the track that I was going to use in last week's one, but then I decided not to, and then this week I was like, you know what, no, I do want to try this map, even if it is janky as balls. I think, okay, well, we've lost the front splitter now, so hopefully we'll have less issues with oversteer, though we might be dealing with now chronic understeer. Yeah, there we go. Lots and lots of understeer, and the game is really lagging out under braking now, which it was doing before, but now it's just getting really bad. The BeamNG devs really need to get on top of this. God damn it. I've broken a wheel, but that's fine. We can keep pushing our way to the end. God damn it. Oh, okay. You know what? With a broken wheel, it's still controllable. And there's the first obstacle. Oh, we've lost the other front wheel now. Can we still drive? No, we can't. Bugger. All right, well, let's retry this lap then. You know what? I've given this thing like so many attempts right now. This car is just not feasible. Unfortunately, not a great car. So let's give this car a bit of a look. Now let's just make sure, yep, that is not downforce. There's no downforce added there, and this... Oh, wait, hold on. It is actually a wing, so it does actually have rear downforce, though it's like a very small wing, so it's not going to be particularly great. Aside from that, I think this car looks kind of cool. I like the headlight design. I like the body shape. It's always been a popular one of mine. Not sure about the exhaust, what they've done there, but I mean, I do like this exhaust being there and everything. And I like the back. The back looks pretty cool, even though it is basic design elements. It looks really cool. I mean, that doesn't really suit the design of a muscle car, but yeah, the rest of like the tail lights, I really do like it. Oh, okay. So it's not really a muscle car. This is the Necromancer SP that he's put up, and this is a modern car, but with classic muscle. And it likes to get a little bit slippery, which makes sense. I would understand why. But this is a quad cam V8 with racing trumpets. I doubt the validity of calling this like an old school muscle. Maybe like, I mean, sure, some of the Coyote engines have quad cams, but I wouldn't call that old school muscle. I'd call that like new modern engine V8 type stuff. Anyway, let's give this one a try. See how this one takes off on the line. It's also a manual, so it's not really a muscle car, is it? Like, at least an American muscle. You know what, you might consider this one an Australian muscle car. Oh, you know what? Stable. Pretty good. Not huge amounts of power. The thing struggles to get past 100 kilometers an hour, so maybe it is a muscle car. Oh, massive bouts of understeer and massive lag from the game coming in right now, which is rather irritating, because braking, the lag only seems to happen when wheels are under stress. So like braking and getting wheel squeal and going sideways and accelerating in a straight line with lots of wheel spin seems to really lag the game out, and that's when you need to have like fast reflexes altogether. Ooh, the lag getting up onto there was pretty bad as well. Okay, so we're going about 130, 140. Nice. That's a pretty good speed over the bridge, and it still feels stable. We went around, but that's fine. We're still doing better than the other car. You gotta get this thing backed up. Oopsie daisies. At least we still have our wing intact, so that's good. And massive wheel spin coming away from there. That was so much wheel spin, but I mean, it's controllable, so it is very muscle-like. Oh, God. Oh, we've hit a tree. God, we are in a muscle car. Frick. Okay, let's try that again. After that display, I hope none of you are wondering why I still have traction control on. I have traction control on for a very good reason, because I want to be able to finish this lap in like a decent amount of time, and I don't want to have to deal with losing traction going sideways too much. But at least we're coming up to now where we finished the last one. I think this is as far as we made it in the last car. So this one is already doing considerably better, because I've been able to make it here on my second attempt, or third technically. There was a small crash there which I won't talk of, and now we're just going around the trees that are right in the middle of the road, coming around, and here is the finish line. And this one actually puts down a time, and it's 1 minute 51.8. Ah! Well, yeah, its crash is actually pretty good. I would reckon that you might actually have a chance of surviving that. Also, I didn't realize that the world just ends. Let's move on to the next one. Now, this is the Nevis Longwood, and this one is a modified BeamNG, a modified automation car, and I really do like it. It's somewhere like a cross between a Ford Escort with those front headlights and grille and like the general shape where it stoops down in the middle. But then when you get to the back, it looks a little bit more like a P1800 wagon version. It's a really cool looking shooting brake type thing. I like the badging on here. All of the details are very intricate. The exhausts come out in a really cool way. The driver's side is on the correct side. It's an automatic. Interesting. I mean, I suppose that's what you'd expect. Also notice that all of the interior is the correct color. Have they gone through and doubled up all of the bodywork? They have. So usually when you get a car into BeamNG from automation, the interior will be a different color, but they've gone over everything. Unfortunately, They liked the look of black in automation and thought that it would look the same black in BeamNG, and no. They use different color definitions, so they will come out different. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I like this. Got a really cool looking dash there. We've got actual proper gauges, huh? Oh, we got kilometers an hour, we got fuel, we got temperature, and RPM. None of which seem to be working, but that's fine. Got a cool little radio, and now let's check out the engine. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not the sort of thing you would expect to see in a British-looking supercar. What the? Family car? What is up with this? Oh, the dash comes into the engine bay. Okay, that's why it looks so weird. So what, we're dealing with a V8, are we? Can't actually tell from that side. Can we tell from this side? Got 1, 2, and it looks like 3. So this actually looks like a V6, not a V8. Yeah, I think we're dealing with a V6 here. And it looks fairly period correct. It looks like we've got a direct acting overhead cam. We've got a... Oh, you know what? I could have just looked at the plenum. Yeah, there's 3 prongs on the plenum. So this is a V6 and it's got a big 4-barrel carburetor up there. This thing... Oh, it looks like it's going to be so much fun. Let's give it a try. It is very quiet though. If we just leave this thing in neutral. Very quiet. I'm going to have to turn my heads up to be able to even hear this thing. But, oh, this one's going to be a good one. Also, my frame rate is tanking right now. 35, 36 frames per second? Yikes. Anyway, let's give it a try. 3, 2, 1, go. And slowly away from the line there. This engine actually sounds really cool for what it is. I do appreciate all the little details they put in here. Now, how's the thing with oversteer? Oh, okay. You know what? Controllable. Not horrible. I think this thing might have an LSD, which is not very British. A lot of the times with these sorts of cars, it would still always just be an open differential right up until the 90s. Oh, God. You know what? It's got historically accurate understeer. We're going to have a bit of a rise there, and this thing just let go. Let's have a look. What sort of brakes do we have here? Okay, we got the brakes here. Okay, we have a 2-pot front brake disc. Interesting. I kind of felt more like a drum brake. What do we got in the rear here? On the rear, we have, yes, the drum brakes that I thought we had. And we have a solid axle leaf spring in the rear. Okay. You know what? That's accurate. I do appreciate that. What do we have on the front? On the front, we've got double wishbone. All right, fair enough. Is this a ladder chassis, is it? Yes, this is very much a ladder chassis, so I suppose that's all right, I guess? But let's give it another try. Oh, this thing likes to get all of the wheel stresses going on. It locks up so easily on the front. Maybe I should feather the brakes a lot more. Really, these brakes, though, would normally be... oh, God. That is so scary. They would... be weak on the front and then lock up in the rear. That's generally how these sorts of cars went, especially since this car is from 1968. Locking up in the rear was just commonplace. It's basically what you expect from these sorts of cars. But we're going to keep on going as my frame rate chunks every single time we try to go around this corner coming up to here. Really, really laggy. BeamNG devs, please get on top of this weird kind of lag issue you got. It needs to be better than this. Like, it wasn't this bad in the previous updates. I get that you're improving handling and whatnot. Oh, God. Oh, this thing really likes to become a tank slapper there when that sort of stuff happens. Oh, nice. This thing reverses really well. Wish I had been controlling that manually, though, because I would have been able to get that thing done properly. And I also do appreciate the fact that they didn't just go with the best transmission. They went with a proper slush box automatic. A slush-o-matic, as one may call it. And it just all adds to the feeling of the thing. The thing, though, doesn't have a lot of body roll. It should have a lot more body roll than this. Oh, God! I missed the obstacle, but can I keep going? Oh, it won't go into reverse now. It's kind of janked out, and we've broken a front wheel. Can we keep on going? No, not really. Bugger! And I was having so much fun, too. Oh, that was a lot of drifter. But I do like the car. It has a really smooth power delivery. It is a very peaky engine, which is what you'd expect from a race engine back in the day. This thing does have extractors on there. So I do know that this thing is not a base model car. And I kind of appreciate the kind of change up they've got there for that as well. Like, the thing looks like the old car, but they've gone at least and done a little bit of tweaking, as, you know, a lot of people would do. I don't know many people, though, that would upgrade the brakes quite so much on this car, but they've done a pretty good job. I do like this. Got this crossover. Oh, I'm going to brake so that I don't go over the cliff edge. Oh, those brakes lock up way too easy. And we've done a 209, so this one's about 10 seconds slower. I do appreciate the effort they put into this, and I do appreciate that it is slow and they didn't just go ahead and say, hey, let's just make it fast because we want it to be fast. I am smitten with this car. It looks so good, so clean. I like that they've got this big donut thing here that like serves no purpose. I like that they've got a V6 in a circle. The GTE is on a raised badge. It's not just there. They've done such good work. And let's go Control T. Have they cleaned up the mesh on here? No, they haven't. But it is pretty good to start with. So I'm not too concerned with that, really. So far, I'm going to have to say that this is my favorite. This, like, I really do like this one a lot. The other ones may be fast and whatnot, but this one has immaculate attention to detail. So thank you very much, Exceeds GS. I love this car. Now onto a more modern car, and this is the Kaipa S2S by La Hostada, whatever that name is, and it's $39,400. So let's hope that this thing handles like a Subaru as well, you know, fairly controllable, decent brakes, all that sort of stuff. So let's check out the engine in here. Oh, you know what? That's not a Subaru engine. We've got ourselves a twin-turbo V6 with big, massive plenums on there. They're not connected, but that's an automation issue, not a BeamNG or a creator issue. No interior, so we'll just ignore that. I didn't know what wheels they had in there, so I just put on basic wheels because I'm assuming that they were meant to have wheels. The rear end is interesting, so it's a little bit bland and boring, but I do like the fact that these are all individually fitted fixtures. That's not just something that they picked out of a lineup and went, yeah, that'll do, whatever. So I like this car. It's fairly clean, not over busy, all that sort of stuff, and let's give it a try. So let's first check to see what sort of gearbox. Okay, so we have a manual. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. A smidgen bit of wheel spin. It really feels as if this thing probably has a peaky power band that's making it so then, oh god, the power kind of cuts off. And I'm assuming that has to do with a limitation of engine stroke, so then the pistons don't break. Wait, what? When did I hit something? Like, I got close to a tree, but did I actually break a rear axle on that? I suppose let's try it again. And, oh, you know what it is? Hold on, let's try this again. Electronic stability control. Let's quickly give a check to see if this thing has all-wheel drive. So in the rear, we have, that looks to be multi-link suspension, so that's pretty cool. And then in the front, we do have all-wheel drive, and this one is just a straight double wishbone. So this one should handle pretty well. And that time it felt a lot zippier off the line. The power band does feel a little bit smoother, though I get the feeling that the power band is still actually very peaky. And lag, thank you game, coming up to here. The second corner, and you know what, it's dealing with these bumps quite nicely. I like the realistic amount of body roll that you get in these sorts of Subarus. It feels quite good. Coming around here, narrows up for the bridge. Pretty well handled by this car. This car is pretty good. Let's try a little bit of a handbrake here. And full power on. Nice. I feel as if there's a bias to understeer, which is fine. It's all right. But, you know, it's more fun, though less fast, to have more rear bias if you want to start chucking it into corners and whatnot. Now, let's start braking early to come out of the bridge because we had a fair chunk of speed there, and this is not a downforce monster car. This one is probably actually, so far, I would say the most realistic vehicle so far. I mean, the engine doesn't really seem that realistic, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. I do like the fact though that it's not like hugely overpowered. They went with a twin turbo V6, so you've got a lot of power available there, but they didn't go berserk with it. This thing just has a modest amount of power, though not being underpowered in any way whatsoever. Okay, coming up to the obstacles. Oh, okay, making it around. What are we scraping right now? Did I hit something? What's going on? Oh god, the lag right now is pretty bad. Coming around here for the final corner, getting wheel spin on the actual dirt, and we made it across the line at 154. Oh, okay. So at some point, our wing became dislodged, and yeah, let's Control T that. I don't know why or how that happened. Oh, it wants to actually come off. Okay, interesting. You didn't really need it, if I'm honest. I do feel as if, though, that was slowing us down. So we have just a small wing on the front, on the rear, and then a massive wing on the front. So that would be also adding to its understeer, which is fine. It makes the car predictable and controllable. Not the fastest, but you know what? I appreciate it. Most cars will have more understeer than oversteer, except for, like, the American cars. But that's power oversteer. Not quite exactly the same thing. I like that they put in a lot of detail into the front headlights. They look ugly as sin though, but you know, they've still done a pretty good job. The rear taillights, I don't like how automation to BeamNG, they come out just a solid color like that sometimes. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Okay, so that helps us, but it's time for us to move on to the next one. Now we're on to the Tyrant SFC track, and this one is by Watermelon. Now this is a 2020 car, and the price is, I'm gonna say excessive. This is $9,310,000. So it's about $9 million more than what you would expect from a car. They must have just chucked up the quality on everything. So here we've got a V8. So, I mean, if you're spending that much money, you're gonna want more than just a V8. You're gonna want a very cool kind of fast car. And is that naturally aspirated? Let's just double check there's no... Yep, those exhausts go right out the rear. So this is a naturally aspirated V8 for 9 point something whatever million dollars. That's excessive. Yeah. So let's have a look at the rest of the car. So I don't know how to kind of describe the styling here. Got this weird diffuser here that's bent up incorrectly. So let me bring out Control T here and have a look at where the aerodynamic properties for the wing is. I get the feeling that it's glitched out because if you rotate wings a lot of the time, the entire wing collision mesh will disappear or become incredibly small and janked out. But I don't think there is actually any downforce here whatsoever. Ooh, what's that? 3 wings they've got here? I don't know how they go being so close to each other, but I don't see that being an issue. I don't think the game is that complicated. Then on the front, we've also got a few invisible wings. But I get the feeling that there was meant to be something here that I just didn't have as a mod. So I don't know if it's going to have less downforce or what it should have. But it looks like, though, they've put in a lot of effort. So they've actually gone back and forth and they've done a few iterations of design here. So we've got carbon ceramic brakes with double wishbone, or is that? No, that's push rod rear suspension. So we've got pretty decent suspension in the rear. And then in the front, we've got all-wheel drive, and once again, also double wishbone. So this should be a car to be reckoned with. That is to say, though, if that front wing area was actually not meant to be a wing that's missing, and is actually meant to be open. Now, I also do feel as if this is meant to be like the Grand Theft Auto Tyrant. As you can see here, it is meant to have a big wing, and most of these things line up. See, it's got a big vent on the rear. This one's got a big vent on the rear. The window comes to a bit of a narrow close. The window comes to a bit of a narrow close. Front's got like a big open area here. This one's got a big open area here, but though a little bit different. The nose has a very similar, like, rounded kind of shape. Big air curtain vents around here. It seems like a variation of that car. I just don't know about the rear taillights. It looks like the car is upset. So take from that what you will. But I suppose let's just give it a try. Does it have a clutch? No. Okay, so this thing just takes off. It's probably got a dual clutch by the sounds of it. And it is very fast, and oh my god, it brakes so well. Oh god, okay. It's a little bit skittish. Oh god. Oh, it does not like the bumpy road, but you know what? So much traction, this thing pulls itself back into... back into line, except then it didn't. Yep, we lost all of our front aero. So it would have been only rear aero, and I get the feeling that this thing would be more likely to do a wheelie than handle properly after an accident like that. Let's give it another go. 3, 2, 1, go. And this thing loves getting up to speed super quickly. I do not know how they got so much power from this engine. This engine must be huge. But though it reaches 9,000 RPM, maybe the engine was under a lot of stress or something like that, because damn, to get this much power, you're either gonna be like, I don't know. They've done something magical to get this much power to this engine. Oh wow, the game is actually feeling smoother with this car too. Oh, almost collided there. Coming up here to the corner right before the bridge, so you gotta be careful around here that you don't start losing traction, because then it gets into laggy territory. There you go. And making it across the bridge. Oh god. Oh, halfway through there, I got all my frames back and it made the car really jittery and out of control. I get the feeling we've probably lost a little bit of front downforce. Oh, okay. That's all good. Braking here, and it doesn't want to turn left. I feel as if we've lost too much front downforce. Was there only 2 wings there beforehand? Because this now doesn't feel right. Yeah, that wheel is pointing inwards quite a lot, and the camber's all wrong. Yeah, those little extra canard type wings down the side. Though they've put it on wrong, so like they're at a displayed angle. Weird. But that's... Oh my god, this car is so fast! Okay, we made it across the bridge nice and smoothly. I had to back off quite a bit because the lag on that bridge is pretty bad, and I don't know how to deal with that currently. If anybody knows of any like sort of hot fix for this lag issue, I would love to hear about it. But back to this car. This car is so fast and so janky to handle, especially with the lagging. If it wasn't for the lagging, this would actually be the best handling car in the world. And I know that's not the designer's fault, it's the game dev's fault. But I don't know how it would do compared to other ones. Okay, and let's not go off. Okay, we've gone off. What? How do we deal with the crash? Ooh, that's pretty bad. Did you bad thing. Wait, no, hold on. That's not right. Damn it, I have to look at the recording to actually know what I've done and then come back for this. Sorry guys, give me a second. Okay, I found a discrepancy in the recording. This is meant to start anew when I go back to the beginning, but it didn't, so we have to take off about 41 seconds from its time, which comes off of 2:02, which means that this one did not actually beat that car. This one did it in like an extra 30 seconds quicker. So this is by far and away one of the fastest cars I have ever driven, and I kind of want to take it around the automation test track now just to see how it does. Jesus, a 144 whilst using controller. This car is exceptionally fast, and it really makes me want to go through and redo my fastest car lap record type dealio video that I did a while ago. But I've had somebody else challenge me, another content creator challenge me, and we'll deal with that one day. But damn, that's like really doing pretty well. My best time though was 1 minute 16. That may have been using a glitch. But yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and give out honorable mentions. So this one, by far and away, the fastest car that I have received from you guys so far. It's really good, handles really well, braking is awesome, everything is really great. It's just unfortunate that the game currently is not in a great state. And then on to the next one, I would say that this is the most realistic car that we've had so far today. I think, yeah, this will be probably one of the most realistic handling and physics-based cars I will drive for a long time. Like, the body roll was perfect, the engine was decent, and the power delivery, though, from the engine was really great. This car, really well done. But my favorite for today is this one, because it looks so good and so accurate. They've done an interior and everything, though they got the interior color wrong. It's really well done, and I especially like the back end. It looks so good. Just turn off those lights, and yeah, this one does get my vote for best car of the week. This one is probably in third, and this one will be second, because this one is just exceptional. I don't like the fact that they didn't get this styling done quite right, or maybe they just didn't know that I don't have all mods. This one comes in as third. I mean, because it's very boring looking, unfortunately, but it feels really nice. And this one, yeah, well out in first place. I love the split bumper. I just love everything about this car. It's so good. I love it. Well done. Thank you very much to Exige GS for this one. You've done a really exceptional job. And I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.